Adaptation is what I want to preach about today. When we walk into an extreme environment, either hot or cold, our body still survive. It's not magic. It's the body taking care of itself. We live in a dynamic and chaotic environment. There is a reason for global warming summit every year, but humans still have to survive. We have to survive. Well, today's video is all about how humans survive that chaos. Yes, the chaos. In simple terms, the process that keeps the body stable or that adapts the body in unstable or extreme conditions and environments is simply called homeostasis. Homeostasis, that was the topic we spoke about in the last video. Towards the end of the last video. We're picking up, today to really go in depth and, give some example about how the body really adapts to things that we throw at it or things that, environment throw at us. Because of it, our body has standards. The body temperature needs to maintain 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. The glucose level needs to maintain 72 to 99 milligram per deciliter before meal, right? And our pH also needs to have a very good balance between acidity and alkalinity. But immediately we wander off, or differ from these ranges, due to external factor or external environment, so to say. We feel sick, and after some time, we get back to normal again. We feel good again. A very good example of this, if you're familiar with physics a little bit, is that an item remains in a state of rest, till forever, law of inertia, until an external factor acts on it. Our body might, maintain those standards, but as soon as other factors, our environment changes comes in, it's wander out from those range, and these are the standards that we need, to keep living, to keep going. So how does it balance itself eventually? And that's still the process that we're still talking about today. This process, it happens in three stages. The first item on the stage, or the first thing on the stage, is the body needs to sense it that there's a change, and that is the sensor, pain receptors, or temperature changes, different things, different kind of sensors, being controlled by the nervous system, the central nervous system. So you need to sense a change. The body needs to sense a change. Then this change, or this change that happens in the body, is being sent to the controller. And just the controller, the brain. So the brain then comes together and give an instruction on restoration. Hey, pancreas, you need to release more insulin, secrete it into the bloodstream, let it extract glucose into the cell so that the sugar level can drop. That is the instruction. Those are the three stages. You have the sensor, the controller, and the effector. The effector is the organ that brings the restoration. Speaking of stages, right? You've sensed something. The nervous system already passed on the signal. Then you have it feedback. In the world of homeostasis, there are two types of feedback. That's negative feedback when you're reacting to something negative, and positive feedback when you want to adapt to something positive. I'll be speaking about the negative feedback first. So in the negative feedback, right, say for example, you eat a large piece of cake, and as you know, cake contains a lot of sugar, but you still need to maintain a certain glucose level and sugar level, just what you have there. But if you're eating a very large piece of cake last night and you don't want to get sick, because I don't want to talk about diabetes, but when you have this spike in this sugar level too, can take you to that diabetes level. So you don't want to have diabetes, but the brain, the body has a way of taking care of itself. So this is what happens. The sensitivity that you have very high level of sugar, very much amount of sugar in your bloodstream, and then the signal is being sent to the brain, and the brain tells the pancreas. Pancreas is somewhere, just a little bit below the stomach, something down there. And that pancreas is an organ which releases this hormone called insulin. Then insulin is being released into the bloodstream, and it go and attack. Don't let me say attack. It helps reduce or move the the glucose transporters into the surface of the cells that you have in your body. It's not that they go anywhere or whatever. It just extracts those glucose, using the glucose transporter, and take it to the surface of the cell, and the cell absorb it, and from there your sugar level drops and you're back to normal again. That is how it reacts to negative feedback. Another perspective, which is the positive feedback, is when you intentionally take the body to an intentional instability. A very good example is this. If I should go to the gym, of course I do go to the gym. If I should go to the gym and I'm challenging myself with an extra amount of weight, okay, I want to do bench press, a bench press of, let's say, 120 kg, and what I'm comfortable with is 80 kg. Definitely that's going to have some effect. But we've seen a whole lot of people, going above their limit a little bit, and they survive, even though it was very intense. Then that is the positive feedback. The body is reacting to an intentional instability. So I'm lifting a bench press of 120 kg, and that will cause my heart to pump more blood. As a matter of fact, every fiber in my muscle will call for more strength, which is going to trigger more glucose. As I'm pushing, it's going to trigger more glucose. All metabolic action happening there. Everything is going to keep triggering. Okay, we need more resource. Allocate more resource to me. Allocate more resource to me. And I'm going to explain it in a very simple term, from where we can understand it. The blood pressure. So you're trying to push a lot of weight, and it makes you to pant more, which means that your heart is working more. Your blood pressure is going up. And when your blood pressure is going up, it means that blood is pumping more and more. But you need a very good passage for that blood to move, which means that the blood vessels start dilating so that the right amount of blood can pass through till you get to that limit and you've achieved your goal. It's going to be for a very short while, but it's going to be achieved, and the body is going to hold you. It's going to hold you for that short while, and you will leave. And as soon as everything is okay, you'll be back to normal again. That is homeostasis in the positive direction. That positive direction. So you have the negative direction and you have the positive direction. And whichever way, God is great. He made all things bright and beautiful, and still great. So that is it. We've looked at homeostasis from two perspectives. The negative feedback and the positive feedback. So the next time things happen, you are in a cold, you are in a very hot sun, and you're still going, you're still fine, you are jogging, you are panting very fast, and you're still fine. It's not magic. That is the exact thing that is happening. So I'm Zio, guys. As you know, what we do here is health science. It's all about being curious at any point in time, and this was my last curiosity, to dive deep into what really happens in our body. I'm Zio, and see you in the next one. Bye. Did I just wave you guys by? Who ended the sermon without sharing the grace? Well, that's the end of today's sermon. Please like, subscribe, and share. Share to your friends and let them learn more about what we do here too. I'm not going to say bye again.